Study the Math presents the Real Number System. Warning. The following is a story I made up to help me make sense of the real number system. I tell this story to my students in hopes they understand that numbers are here to help us in the world. Our mathematical journey begins a very long time ago when men and women were just settling this wonderful planet. People were nomads and they roamed the earth and didn't stay in one place very long. They didn't have many possessions, so numbers weren't important. Then one day, people decided they didn't want to move around anymore, and they started settling and staying in places. That's when the need for numbers became very important. So we introduced the first numbers used. These are the natural numbers. When people started settling, they needed to be able to count their items, so natural numbers became a necessity. They're also known as counting numbers, and they start with 1 and continue forever. Here we have 1 cow, 2 chickens, and 3 goats. Sadly, you and I both know that sometimes bad things happen. One year, I actually lost my whole garden due to flooding. So people realized they needed things that they had none of and actually needed it. So we added 0. This set is called whole numbers. The whole numbers are 0 and then they include the natural numbers. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. In our previous picture, we had a cow, but now we have 0 cows. Something happened to our cow. We still have 2 chickens and we still have 3 goats. Trading and bartering became vital for people to survive in the world. Farmers would trade vegetables and animals for materials they didn't have. They needed a way to keep a record of all of their crops and animals, so negative numbers were introduced into the mathematical world. And this number set is called integers. Integers are the whole numbers and they're opposite. Basically, they just add to equal 0. For example, 2 and -2. Integers start at negative infinity and go to positive infinity. Look at this example here. We have some pigs. It looks like we have 6 pigs. And then we have a farmer that says, enjoy the pigs. Thanks for the fruits and vegetables. So originally, our farmer had 6 pigs. Well, then -2 pigs went to the other guy. And so there's only 4 pigs left. The next number set revolutionized the number system. This set enabled people to measure small amounts, develop money, and many other mathematical wonders. These numbers are fractions, which are just decimals that terminate or repeat. This set is called rational numbers. These numbers are written as a fraction, a over b, where a and b are both integers, and b does not equal 0. And a divided by b terminates or repeats as a decimal. Our dimes, our pennies, 2 over 3 would be 0.6 repeating, 1/2 would be 0.5, -2.876 starts repeating with the 876, and 5.7 are just some examples of rational numbers. The last set I'm going to mention are irrational numbers. These are the strange numbers that can't be written as a neat fraction. They never repeat or terminate, and they're absolutely fascinating. They're not rational numbers, hence their name, irrational. IR means not, so not rational. Irrational numbers are numbers that can't be written as a fraction. The most common example is pi, and it's that little symbol there. And then also the square root of 2. And then look at this number. It has a pattern, and you can figure out what it is, but it never repeats or stops. And do you have any idea how many digits of pi have been discovered? Most representations of the real number system is done in a Venn diagram. Remember, inside circles or squares are also part of the outside circles. This means natural numbers are also in the whole numbers, the integers, the rationals, and the reals, and their location is always where they appeared first. For example, 4 would appear in the natural circle, negative 877 would appear in the integer. This next slide shows the Venn diagram. Here we have the Venn diagram, and in the smallest circle are natural numbers. Then we added the whole with 0. Then we needed the negatives, integers, and lastly we needed the rationals for our numbers, our money system. So our natural numbers are 1, 2, and 3 and continuing. The whole numbers add 0. Integers add the negatives. And then finally, the rational numbers give us our fractions and decimals that terminate or repeat. A Venn diagram of the real number system would include the irrational numbers. So you take the natural, whole, integer, and rational numbers, and then the irrational numbers do not fit with them. There is no overlap in the Venn diagram. I hope this helps with your understanding of the real number system. And as always, thanks for watching. You can email me at bethemath@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe.